Y'all, what I'm about to reveal about Will Smith and Martin Lawrence will have you gasping for air. The bad boys might be saying goodbye for good, and let me tell you, the reasons why are so scandalous, you'll need a fainting couch nearby.
No, I think comedy should be all about comedy. To use comedy for negativity is just not the way to go.
A man knows what a man needs.
And I look at Martin, and he's like, this one don't go nowhere with you.
Listen up, my tea-loving friends, because this isn't your regular Hollywood fallout. We're diving deep into a world of suspicious parties, questionable behavior, and secrets so dark they'll make your favorite soap opera look like a children's show. Something major is keeping these former besties apart, and I've got all the piping hot details.
So the girl walks up and stands in front of Martin, and she's standing there, and she's dancing in front of Martin, and he's like, oh, come on. And she lifts her skirt up. And
Baby, this tea isn't just about a friendship gone sour. This is about Martin's deafening silence that's screaming volumes about something way darker than we could have imagined. Has Hollywood finally shown him enough of its ugly underbelly to make him run for the hills? And our beloved Fresh Prince? Chiley, the controversies he's wrapped up in will have your jaw permanently attached to the floor. These whispers about Will's questionable connections, those super secret Hollywood parties, and Diddy's wild events are about to blow your mind.
she wants to have sex in the club. And I look at Martin, and he's like, this one don't go nowhere with you.
Y'all, the rumors about Martin Lawrence possibly cutting all ties with Will Smith aren't just whispers anymore. They're turning into full-blown screams. These two have been the iconic faces of bad boys since forever, but lately, nothing but cricket sounds and tumbleweeds. They're not even breathing the same Hollywood air anymore. And Martin, he's showing about as much interest in making another movie with Will as I do in week-old gossip. The question on everyone's perfectly glossed lips is why. Some say it all started with this absolutely insane Miami trip that showed everyone a side of Will that would make a reality show look PG rated.
This last year and a half, I've been in the lab.
But here's the gag that'll have you clutching your pearls. Martin's silence isn't just him being petty or difficult. Hollywood's been hiding some seriously ugly secrets in its designer closet, and lately, more and more people are stepping forward to air out all that dirty laundry. Even Dave Chappelle, who never sugarcoats anything, has dropped hints about a Hollywood culture that nearly pushed Martin right over the edge in the 90s. And could our Fresh Prince be tangled up in all this messiness like last season's Christmas lights?
How tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
The whispers about Will's alleged connections to these under-the-radar Hollywood events with Diddy have people raising their eyebrows so high they're practically touching their hairlines. We're talking everything from his rumored relationship with Dwayne Martin to, hold on to your wigs, a supposed three-way affair with J-Lo and Diddy. Yes, you heard that right. The tea is so hot, it's evaporating. Now, let me paint you a picture of this wild night in Miami that changed everything. Picture this scene. Martin's newly married, trying to live that peaceful, drama-free life, as he should. But Will is literally begging him like a kid in a candy store to hit the town. Dude, come on, it's for the culture. We're the bad boys. Will's practically on his knees trying to convince Martin to join him at Prince's Club, Glam Slam. And honey, this place wasn't just any regular club. We're talking about a purple wonderland that would make Studio 54 look like a church social. Martin finally gives in. Biggest mistake since low-rise jeans, if you ask me. And what happens next is so crazy it sounds made up. But trust your girl, every word is real. They end up in this VIP balcony, and let me tell you, this party was on another level of wild.
It's wild. Like, I'd never seen nothing like this club, right? So we're sitting there, and there's a balcony that looks over onto the dance floor. So
now clutch your pearls tight because this next part is scandalous. Out of nowhere, this woman materializes like a reality show plot twist and starts dancing all provocative-like in front of Martin. And then, I still can't believe I'm about to tell y'all this, she lifts her skirt, showing that she is wearing absolutely nothing underneath. The audacity, the disrespect, but wait, it gets worse. She then has the nerve, I tell you, to ask Martin if they could get a little more intimate. Right there in the club.
So the girl walks up and stands in front of Martin, and she's standing there, and she's dancing in front of Martin, and he's like, oh, come on. And she lifts her skirt up.
Martin was absolutely mortified, as any decent married man should be.
Look at Martin, and he's like, this one don't nowhere with you.
He literally ran out of that club faster than gossip spreads in a beauty salon. Left Will standing there looking confused like a math student during finals. And honey, they haven't been seen partying together since. But if you think that's the end of this piping hot tea, grab your fans because we're just getting started. Now, Martin isn't the first person to get an interesting party invitation from Will Smith. Let me spill the tea about comedian Burt Kerr's bizarre encounter that'll have your head spinning. When Kerr was just a baby in the industry, fresh-faced and innocent, he met Will at a recording studio during the Millennium album recording. Will seemed impressed with Kerr's comedy and invited him to go out later that evening. Sounds innocent enough, right? Wrong. This is where it gets weird. And I mean weird. When Kerr called his daddy to brag about hanging with the Fresh Prince, as any up-and-coming star would, his father dropped some warnings that would make a soap opera writer blush. His dad spilled some scalding tea about how some men in Hollywood who've had their fill of women often turn to young boys for excitement. Chile, Kerr was absolutely shook to his core.
And he was like, oh, buddy, he's trying to I go, what? And he goes, listen, this is very popular in Hollywood. These guys have had so much they get tired of it, and so they're trying to turn out young boys. That's the only thing that really excites me.
But hold on to your designer bags because this story takes a turn wilder than a roller coaster. When Kerr showed up at Planet Hollywood looking like a mess on purpose, strategic thinking, honey. Someone directed him downstairs. This poor man thought he was walking into some kind of situation with Will and 12 other men. But plot twist that made Night Shyamalan would envy, it was actually a room full of hip-hop royalty.
I could have Kumo D? Like, I'm literally like, oh my God, and then...
Now let's dive deep into these infamous Hollywood parties because, baby, they are something else entirely. And who's always stirring the pot like it's Sunday dinner? None other than Sean Diddy Combs. His parties aren't just legendary, they're notorious. The guest list is more exclusive than heaven itself, the events are more controversial than a political debate, and what happens behind those doors? Chile, some secrets are darker than a new moon night. And guess who's been spotted at these gatherings more times than I've had hot dinners? Will Smith himself. The rumors about these parties having a strict code of silence and the price for breaking it, let's just say it's higher than my blood pressure while spilling this scalding hot tea. Speaking of spilling tea, we need to talk about Will's Hollywood connections, especially with Dwayne Martin. Actress Lisa Ray came through with some bombshells that'll have you reaching for your smelling salts.
Somehow within that relationship, I lost my husband to Dwayne Martin, and they became better friends than what me and my husband did, and I couldn't understand that for the love of God.
In that interview, she laid it all out there about how Dwayne Martin was playing matchmaker like it was his job, introducing her husband to several women in the industry, completely disrespecting their marriage like it was yesterday's news.
The problem was I married a playboy.
But child, that's just the appetizer. Dwayne and Will's friendship goes all the way back to 1993 when they met on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're talking 3 decades of friendship that sparked more rumors than a high school prom queen. The whispers about Will's started around the same time he played a gay con artist in 6 Degrees of Separation. And honey, in Hollywood, there's no such thing as coincidences.
I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
And if you thought that tea was hot, fan yourself because this next part is about to make you sweat buckets. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, didn't just spill the tea, he dumped the whole tea factory about Will, Jada, and Jennifer Lopez. Picture this star-studded party with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and literally everyone who's anyone in Hollywood. Something went down that had Diddy seeing more red than a Valentine's Day display.
He said, yo, I think Will and Jada trying to pull Jennifer.
The tea is that Diddy was so bothered by Will and Jada's interaction with J-Lo that he had his bodyguard sticking closer than a fake eyelash. He even hinted at throwing hands if Will didn't back up off his territory. The drama, the tension, the messiness of it all.
And then he said, yo, Gene, I ain't playing with you, man. Yo, I'm telling you, man, I'ma snuff that, you better be on him. I said, yeah, I got him, man.
Now let's talk about Martin's journey because, baby, it's been rougher than a $2 nail file at a discount store. In the 90s, this man was sitting on top of the world with his show Martin on Fox. He was that guy, the king of comedy. But Chile, things took a turn so dark it would make a horror movie look like Sesame Street. In 1996, he was out here running through California streets with a pistol like he was auditioning for an action movie nobody asked for. Then, as if that wasn't enough drama for 10 lifetimes, he tried to bring a weapon onto an airplane. The choices this man was making had everyone's group chat blowing up. But wait, honey, because the situation with his ex-wife Patricia makes all that drama look like a child's tea party. She got that restraining order faster than a celebrity marriage falls apart, called him a violent drug abuser, and couldn't even trust him alone with their precious baby. Even with a live-in nurse and enough medication to open a small pharmacy, Martin was struggling harder than me trying to walk in 6-inch heels. The scandals were piling up faster than dirty laundry. Despite having professional help and a psychiatrist who said Martin was showing signs of paranoia, Patricia's court statement revealed he just couldn't stay out of trouble. Just days after checking out of rehab, he was back to his old habits, even while seeing a drug counselor. The mess was getting messier by the minute. Things hit rock bottom on September 14, 1997. Mark that date in your scandal calendar. Martin comes home from Hawaii in the early morning holding baby Jasmine and loses it completely over his private nurse being absent. According to those court documents, which are spicier than your grandma's secret recipe, he went into a violent rage, threatening Patricia while still holding their baby. Can you even? Poor Patricia and Jasmine had to flee to a hotel like they were in some dramatic Lifetime movie.
What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to...
So is it any wonder that Martin might be completely done with this whole Hollywood system that nearly destroyed his entire existence? And is Will Smith, with all his controversial connections and questionable parties, part of the reason he's staying further away than my ex during tax season? The truth might still be unclear, but one thing's crystal. Martin is keeping his distance from Will's controversies like their last season's fashion. As more and more of Hollywood's dark side comes crawling out like roaches when you turn on the kitchen light, would anyone blame Martin for walking away from it all? This isn't just about maintaining an image anymore. It's about survival in an industry that can chew you up and spit you out faster than you can say action. The way things are looking, with all these secrets popping out like jack-in-the-boxes and scandals dropping harder than my jaw during the season finale of my favorite reality show, Martin might be the smartest one in the room for keeping his distance. Because sometimes, staying away from the drama is the only way to keep your sanity in this crazy town called Hollywood. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, my tea-loving friends. Do you think Martin is right to distance himself from Will like he's avoiding carbs on a diet? Are these Hollywood parties really as wild as a cat in a thunderstorm? And most importantly, will we ever see another Bad Boys movie? Or is this friendship more canceled than my gym membership? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button harder than I smash my alarm clock in the morning. And ring that bell because, honey, we've got more shocking Hollywood tea coming your way that'll have you clutching your pearls and calling your mama. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. It's juicier than a Georgia peach in August. Until next time, stay messy, keep sipping that tea, and remember, in Hollywood, the truth is always stranger than fiction. And that's the tea, period. That's the